Hello, my friends, and welcome to November's real estate market update. There is so much opportunity out there. Of course, we are going to dive in and show you graphs of the Northwest MLS and true data so you can make your own opinion. But I am shocked by what the Wenatchee market is doing right now and lots of opportunities. So we will talk about where the buyer's advantage is and what is going on for sellers right now. So I'm going to jump on my computer and I will give you the scoop. Okay, let's start off with our just broad overview. We're going to take a look at the market watch here. If you recall, this is set up just for Central Washington. So Chelan County, Douglas County, and Kittitas County is what is in this dashboard. So as you can see, new listings, they're really starting to slow down this time of year. We kind of see inventory shrink. So new listings were at 51, and this is just for the week. So this is a 7-day glimpse. Back on market. So this is homes that fell out of contract. They were under contract, buyers backed out, or whatever happened, and they're back on the market. Price reductions. Of course, we're still seeing a ton of price reductions. We'll get more into the details, the nitty gritty of that. Listing increases. This one kind of makes me giggle right now. Contingent offers. That's not really much that we need to talk about. Listings expired. So this is the time of year where a lot of homes start falling off the market. And whether they either cancel, see the cancels are pretty high too at 42 and expired listings at 77. This The thing that you should know about this is just because they're coming off the market does not mean that these sellers do not want to sell. This is the time of year where I start doing a lot of off-market deals. If you want to take advantage of this market and you're looking for a home, and you can't find what you're looking for on the market, get a hold of me. This is when I start scrubbing those expired listings and contacting owners and, possibly putting deals together that are homes that are not on the market. There's some advantages to that. And we could talk more of that in detail about that if that's your strategy. So pendings, lots of pendings. This is nice to see, 70. But here is what's really concerning. Listings sold, 42. For the last 2 months, I want to say, our number of pending homes has been significantly higher than listings sold. And what that tells me, and what I know is going on in the market, is buyers are backing out of contracts. In fact, we talked about this on last month's, and I just saw a news article put out by the National Association of Realtors saying in September, nationwide, 15% of contracts buyers backed out of in September, which is historically that's really high. That doesn't happen like that. So there's something going on with the buyer psyche right now. Sellers, it's a rough road for you. And all I can tell you is just do not count your pennies until they are in your pocket. Um, so that is something to really be aware of. Now, what is causing this? I think it's just consumer. There's a lot of consumer uncertainty right now. And we're seeing in the news, jobs, layoffs, and I think there's just some people getting cold feet. Okay, I don't want to harp on that too long. Let's get into the stats for each area. So let's see, we're looking at a 3-year monthly, and let's start in Cleveland this week. And so, okay, so this is month over month. We are seeing there is updated October 2025 numbers. Month over month just seems like a lot. Okay, so medium home price, it's kind of all over the board. It doesn't really look like it's changed a whole lot. If we're just looking at this last month, we see just a slight tick down. But of course, we always like to look at price per square foot because that gives us more of comparable. So it's like, where's the market going? Is it actually going up or is it going down? And I'm going to pull this out to 6 months. So here's a 5-year sprawl, and this is kind of what we're seeing in a lot of areas. So this is price per square foot over the last 5 years. And what we're seeing right here, this is about, it was actually over here somewhere. This is when interest rates doubled essentially over the last few months, and we can see that downturn, and now everything is just kind of flattened out. This is the new normal, and I would almost say we're starting to see a incline here. I almost want to say that Cle Elum is at its bottom. This is the bottom of Cle Elum's market. So if you're looking to purchase a home there and you really want a screaming deal, this is probably the time to be looking for that. Um, Closed sales. So we can see, woo, that was when everything was hot and heavy during the COVID years, and then it just slams down, and we're starting to pick up a little bit on closed sales. So that's good to see for Cle Elum as well. Here is the big deal though, month supply. If you are having a hard time selling your home in Cle Elum, this is why. You have a ton of competition. 10.4 months, this is a very strong buyer's market. So these are just quick things to know about the Cle Elum market. If you are a seller, you've got to come with a lot of patience. You need to be doing your due diligence when putting your home on the market, making sure that it is outshining your neighbors, if you will, and your agent is doing a really good job marketing. Video, I highly recommend video. Okay, so let's take a look now at Chelan, because this market is also a huge buyer's opportunity right now. So Chelan, here we go. Sales price. I mean, it's kind of flattened out. It's down a little bit from April. But sales price doesn't mean a lot to me. It's always price per square foot. And here's where we see it really has gone down. So, Chelan, you are, price per square foot, you are getting a lot of bang for your buck right now if you were a buyer. Just this last month, I had a client who purchased a home that was assessed by the county at $1 million, and they ended up purchasing it for in the 700,000. So huge. For that client, everything lined up perfectly for them. The house was in perfect condition too. There wasn't like this huge flip, but just there was a lot of good things that happened for them in that deal. So anyways, there's deals out there. If you were looking for the deal, this is the time. Days on market also, yeah, this is what really kind of gets me. And I don't know, I saw this in the Cle Elum too. The days on market has actually gone down, and I'm wondering if that has to do with a lot of the listings that have been on the market for a long time expiring or pulling off. Okay, here's the other thing. So as to my point where these guys got a great deal, here is what sellers are getting percentage wise to their list price. So if they list at $1 million, they are getting about 950. So right here, it's showing that buyers have some advantage. And here's the even more interesting thing. This is from their original list price. So what this tells me, which is even lower. So what this tells me is sellers are reducing prices, and then they go under contract, and then they're still getting less than what they are listing their home for. So pricing, we talked about this earlier in the year. Pricing your home correctly is, if you don't want to be part of this statistic, pricing your home correctly is crucial. Okay. What else? What do you want to see for, let's see, price per square foot? The good news is, I mean, yeah, we're down about 10%. So in Chelan. Okay, let's take a look at Leavenworth before we look at Wenatchee, because Wenatchee just really surprises me sometimes. Okay, here we are, Leavenworth. So what a steady eddy. And look at this tick up. So we're looking at price per square foot right now. And what really just shocks me the most is Leavenworth is one area that you cannot get a new short-term rental on. And this is kind of something that I track because I have a lot of clients and investors that look for short-term rentals. I thought that it would tank the values in Leavenworth, but it's incredible to see that it is holding so strong, and now we have this uptick. So Leavenworth is a very desirable area, and I think the people that are buying in the Leavenworth area, that little more affluent, that short-term rental just doesn't matter to them. As a matter of fact, they might prefer to be in an area and pay a little bit more to be in an area that doesn't have short-term rentals. So, okay. we looked at price per square foot, average price, you know, 875, median, we are at 775. So, okay, days on market, 82 or 80. So that's pretty flat. It's coming up a little bit. Let's look at price compared to price that they're getting, percent of price that they're getting compared to list price. So 97, this is better position than Chelan is right now. They're given a little bit of a discount there, but not a ton. And then price from original, same thing. This is a lot bigger, so lots of price reductions that we're seeing in Leavenworth. Um, days on market, here we go. If you are struggling to sell a home in Leavenworth, your days on, or actually let's look at month supply. Yeah, you are month supply, so 7.9 months it would take to sell every home that is on the market right now in Leavenworth, which makes it a very strong buyer's market. So there is Leavenworth. Okay, let's look at Wenatchee because this is kind of a different story. And this, so here is the price, and we're going to look right here is where that, well, it was a little bit later, about right in here, when that pop happened. And it did kind of flatten out, but it has just stayed the same. We have not seen a huge drop in values in the Wenatchee area. And of course, that's because it's not really, I mean, it is a vacation area, but the real estate market is not primarily vacation second homes. There's a lot of economy. This is a great spot for investors to be looking. Month supply, boom, 2.7. So this is still a seller's market. And I can't believe that those words are coming out of my mouth right now because there's so many markets across the majority of markets across the nation are very strong buyers markets. And Wenatchee is just a steady Eddie that is just doing really well. Okay, price per square foot. We can see we actually had a little bit of an increase. And on both the median and the average. So all is going good on, let's see, number of homes for sale, 88. So Wenatchee market, don't be afraid to jump into the market. I guess the moral of what I'm trying to say today is if you are a buyer, there is a ton of opportunity. I know it's really scary with what's going on in the economy and all of that. But this is a great opportunity. There's an opportunity in every market, and right now the opportunity is for the buyers. So I hope you found this helpful. And by the way, I just launched a new website, and go check it out if you're thinking of moving to the Wenatchee area. I just put a couple of resources on there. There is a relocation guide that talks about the area a little bit more in depth, and also a weekly newsletter. So make sure to sign up for that, and that'll really get you in tune of what is going on around North Central Washington. Thanks for being with me this week, and I will see you next week with a video about living in North Central Washington.